where he was born November 1953. He was a comic reading loser, then a teenage drug abuser. Then he got expelled for selling students LSD. At 19, he was broke and he was married. Cleaning toilets was the job that he was worth. After further desperate stages, he was making comic pages, the only less respected job on earth. For Anime and Sounds and other little papers, he drew small comics like Maxwell the Magic Cat. He soon began writing all sorts of 5-page science fiction shorts for Doctor Who and British comic books like that. Then a magazine called Warrior got started and let him write some longer stories than before. So he started Marvel Man and V, which blew away the industry, but at first were black and white and quite obscure. By '83, the US DC Comics grabbed him to work for Swamp Thing, which was selling rather poor. But when his stories hit the stands, there soon were tons of Swamp Thing fans, cause no one wrote comic books like Alan Moore. Then came Alan's biggest project, which was Watchmen, a comic like no book or story had been ever. It was rougher, it was realer, but what truly sealed the deal was his techniques were so bizarre and new and clever. So Moore got rich, but he soon hated being famous. Pursued by fans and Hollywood and business sharks, he'd drawn his Magic Cat non-stop, but in protest let it drop when the newspaper made some anti-gay remarks. He quit the mainstream, seeking total independence, and lived a counterculture marriage made for three. But his printing ventures crashed, the women left with all his cash, and Horsey briefly sort of cut adrift at sea. But then in 1993, when Moore turned 40, he announced that he was now a magic wizard. With makeup and a mic on, he does rituals for Glycon. That's his deity, a blonde-haired Roman lizard. His philosophies inform his scripts and novels. He now sees writing as a supernatural act. He hexes films of his old comics. He rejects his name appearing on them, and he refuses all the money too, in fact. In Promethea, he wove in the Kabbalah. From Hell explored how myths shaped modern life. When Lost Girls was his focus, he made a pornographic opus, and the woman who did the art became his wife. With Melinda, Alan still lives in Northampton. His daughter Leah is now a comic writer too. When he writes, speaks, or performs, he always disregards the norms, always striving to make something cool and new. So from Occupy to Octopi, they're in his crew, and a lot of strange things that he used to say have now come true. So, happy birthday, Al, keep doing what you do. I made that one back in 2013 for Alan's 60th birthday. I need to update it now that he's in his 70s, but I did, at a certain point not long after that, actually get to meet him. We were backstage. We were at the same festival in England, and I went backstage to accost him and show him that I'd drawn this creepy thing about him, which he was very polite about, but I did got the feeling that maybe I should escape before I took up too much of his time. But I have also, increasing my stalkeriness, I've actually now put out this book of all my insane thoughts about his Watchmen comic. I have like 4 copies of it on the table back there. It's just a sort of a perverse, absurd, ongoing psychotic analysis of his work. So for those who want to hear even more of my thoughts about him and his work, there's a few copies left back there. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.